Welcome to our channel. Welcome to a midweek. We're so glad you're here. And I want to take this time to welcome all of our new subscribers. Welcome to our channel. We're glad to have you. In this video, we're just going to go through some of your comments and give you an update on the flood and our life.
I got a call about, it was Wednesday night around almost 11 o'clock. Marcus called me and said his yard is underwater. So where they live, they're on the creek runs through their property. And he was monitoring the creek. It kept coming up, kept coming up, kept coming up. And in an hour and a half, 2 hour period, it rose about 4 feet. But it still had another 4 feet to go before it would be in the lawn in their by their house. And he was monitoring that, and all of a sudden the water starts coming from a different direction. Somewhere upstream, somebody at some point had built a levee somewhere.
Oh.
And to divert water into a little dam. Anyway, I'm not sure what the deal was, but instead of it channeling into Libby Creek, most of it came through their property and flooded a bunch of the surrounding areas.
Yeah.
We went over there. I got Mary and Jerome. We went over there and just started getting stuff on higher ground. We were there probably two and a half hours. And in that time, he has a building that you guys might have seen where they have a lot of stuff in it that's right on the edge of the bank. And water was running underneath that. And I was like, well, this thing it's just sitting on blocks. This thing could topple over backwards if enough dirt washes out from underneath the piers. So we got the freezers out of there, a bunch of stuff, got it over into the shop, got his pigs loaded up, his chickens, brought them over here, got some pallets, raised up his freezers so they're higher off the ground. And but then later we decided, well, what if it comes up higher? So we ended up loading the freezers and bringing them over here. 3 freezers and 1 refrigerator that we had plugged in for, a day or two here, just so everything was safe. We left there around 1:30.
It was almost 2.
Almost 2 o'clock.
In the morning.
And there was water almost everywhere, and it was just starting to come into the shop. I drove over there probably 8:15, 8:30 in the morning, and I think the water came up maybe another foot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Maybe not quite a foot, but it was, as you guys can see in the video, there was water just running everywhere.
Yeah.
And then throughout the day it started dropping down a little bit, but the water was still coming over the road directly into their driveway and running like on one side of the house, around the back side of the shop. Started looking at it. In the meantime, the locals had gotten together and just a volunteer effort had sandbagged, a lot of sandbags at the end of that road.
Yeah.
And they were like, if anybody needs them. Well, Marcus was like, I don't really know if sandbagging would do any good. And I'm like, yeah, I think it would, because at this point, a lot of places there was not more than, the deepest spots were like a foot deep. There's a couple of places between the shop and the building that we saved. We put a row of sandbags there. If I had thought about it, would have had the time, that would have been a phenomenal time lapse to set up, because it was pretty impressive how effective the sandbags were. It was like when the last bag went in, all of a sudden it just stopped. Yeah. And then we did 2 more rows. We did a row up on the road to divert the water on an angle so it wouldn't dump more to the left. Anyway, might not be making more sense, but we had 3 different places where we stacked sandbags.
Yeah.
And stopped the flow where it kind of came in and then just went back over into Libby Creek. And then he got on his skid steer and he dug down and made a temporary channel for that water to dump back into Libby Creek.
Yeah. And someone left a comment, I don't know where it is, I just briefly read it, about if the dogs are safe. And if you made that comment, I want you to know that the dogs are very safe.
Yeah, the water did come up slow enough. it wasn't like a wave.
Yeah. Mhm.
They
All
were-
the animals
yeah.
are safe.
They're
And
debating, well, do we stay? Do we go? I'm like, I just keep monitoring it. I mean, you've got 150 feet to go to higher ground.
yep. But the water has since completely receded. They're back in the house. The animals are back. The chickens are back. The pigs are back. Yeah.
There's a bunch of us. Mary was at a wedding in Michigan over the weekend, and Saturday there's a bunch of us guys that showed up at Marcus's place, and we went through the garden, the orchard area. They had ground cloth down and mulch on top of that. That was in pretty much shambles and disarray. We got that, and just there's a lot of places. There's 1.5 to 2 inches of mud, silt, whatever you want to call it, that's washed in. And we cleaned off an area. Yeah, we cleaned up a lot of stuff around the house there. Cleaned up the garden. He's just probably going to till in the other stuff next spring. And then, but the biggest mess or transfer of materials was between his shop and the creek area. There's a big gravel area for, big driveway turnaround, parking stuff, big enough for a semi to turn around. Most of that material had washed over
Onto
the lawn and starting to get into the garden. Some of it went into the creek. So Friday night and Saturday, a lot of the day, Marcus was removing about this much gravel in spots, a good 10 inches in some spots, back to where it was, got a bunch more gravel in, and you go over there now, it's like you almost couldn't tell anything happened. It went down pretty quick.
It went down really fast. Yeah, we're still getting rain. I don't ever remember it being this warm. December.
No.
It's wet. Rain.
50.
It feels
Yesterday
like
was
spring.
50 degrees.
It was warm. I don't remember that.
And
Maybe there's something to global warming. I always thought it was a hoax.
Well, I do remember my grandma often saying in the last days it'll be warmer in the winter and colder in the summer.
See?
However, she knew that.
I don't know.
She
She must have
dead
known that
many years
prophetically.
already. There were a number of bridges that also did wash out. Unfortunately, there's one guy that went, I don't know if the bridge broke through as he was going over it. It was dark. Anyway, he went down into the creek, had a sunroof in his vehicle, broke that out, almost got his leg stuck, got swept down. Very, very fortunate and blessed that he made it out. I don't know who the guy is. He works for the Amish at either Meadowlark or the Farm to Market store. I don't know who it was.
He got out just in time.
He got out. His truck is like a quarter mile downstream.
It's amazing that, someone with little kids did not go down there, because they would have probably not made it. This guy was very blessed and protected because he got out. I think he opened his sunroof and crawled out.
He did, but his foot got stuck and he almost didn't get out.
Oh my, and his truck just washed down the creek.
Yeah.
So I have a comment here. Jeremy Bryant. That's crazy. I grew up there. I've never seen it like that. My family are the owner of Henry's Restaurant.
Oh, wow. Very
Hope
interesting.
everyone is okay. We know Henry's Restaurant. We've eaten there quite a
Yeah.
few times. So they must own the Henry's Restaurant right here in Libby. So if you're ever in Libby, go visit their restaurant. It's very good.
So about the flood, taking preventative measures, Marcus said he's going to be building a levee.
Yeah, it's
And so he has like a circle drive. The one driveway is going to be eliminated. He's going to build a levee. So if it ever does come over the road again and come down in there, it's just going to be diverted and channeled right back into Libby Creek instead of through their lawn, their yard, their garden, and all the neighbors. Hey, Thomas 66. Well, Marvin was good on the platter. Looks really good. I will say nice work on that. Stay safe through all the rain and flooding. Yeah, I should not have made all that because I have, boy, when you get started eating that, you almost can't stop.
If you remember, Marvin made a platter of candy. And guys, that candy has been not quite all eaten, but it has, the boys really
Getting scarce.
Yes. So in my next upcoming video, I have recipes coming up for you. So make sure to stay tuned for that, including Marvin's recipes or his candies that he makes almost every year.
Here's someone, Suzanne, we live on the same road a few homes down from your in-laws. Sorry that happened to them. Okay, so somebody on the same road.
Uh-huh. What was her name?
Suzanne Crow? CR0PP, I'm not sure. First name is Suzanne.
This kind of weather is, I've just never seen it here. It may have been out before the dam was here, but I've heard the last time that that they had a flooding like this was in the 70s.
Yeah. Well, one of the guys that does excavation said it happened in like 10 years ago.
Oh,
but
okay.
Really bad in the 70s. So this is another comment from Lynn Dave. Has it been cold there? What are the temps? Please be safe, everyone. So the coldest we've had this year that I've seen this year was 12 degrees. We've had some cold, we had some snow. We got snow and then all of a sudden it started warming up and just started raining. It's unseasonably warm.
Yeah.
Last night I went to pick up Maria from the airport in Kalispell, and it was 53 degrees at one place between here and Kalispell. 53 degrees.
That's
at
warm.
11 o'clock at night. It's just unbelievable.
It is warm. It just feels like spring.
Well, here's the comment. Blessed beyond measure. I'm happy to see you all made it out safe with the animals. What happened to the dog? I hope you guys didn't forget him or her, which I'm quite sure you didn't. Praying that the great sandbag rerouted all that water. I'm praying for everyone's safety. So, yeah, the dogs, they got the dogs out of there too.
They got the dogs out safe and sound.
This person must be talking about the pigs. A bucket with food and shake the bucket as you walk always works for my daddy. They unfortunately were not really enthused about all the commotion that was going on.
You mean the pigs?
The pigs.
They were pretty wild.
When we unloaded them, I had them in there overnight. The next morning, I had to get a fence built for them, shelter, and I backed up on a bank of dirt, and they walked into the pen. And then when Marcus came to pick them up, did the same thing, rattled the feed in the bag, gave him just a sniff and a bite, and they followed him right up into the trailer. So it does work, yes. Especially with a pig, when if you have time and you can get them to think that they want to do that works very well. But if the water's coming up and you're in a hurry, they somehow sense that, and they always want to run the opposite direction. And even if you do reverse psychology, they still go the wrong way.
This person says, was it snow melt or torrential rains?
Torrential rain.
And snow melt.
There was some snow melt
Yes.
the first day or so, yeah.
Yes. How about the asbestos? Is it in the water?
I have no idea.
I don't think so. I don't think that it is in the water. You know, Libby has a stigma of asbestos and how contaminated Libby is. And it used to be, but they did a great job in cleanup. And
so the actual areas that flooded are very minute compared to the whole general area. When you look at the map from the top down, the areas that flooded from all the homes that are in the county, there's not that many.
Yeah.
The percentage of the homes is very, very small. There's a chance that some of it washed away, because some of it they would leave in the ground, but they just covered it. A lot of it they removed.
I actually don't think so, because
I don't know.
The area where my brother is right the river bottom. So he got probably one of the worst of it. So Libby itself hasn't flooded much at all. It's mostly the people that live along the river that got flooded.
Here's a comment. What I'm trying to understand, why is the boat in the garage? Well, that's Marcus's prized boat, and he takes good care of his stuff. He goes duck hunting with it. We used it to go mule deer hunting. Over in eastern Montana, we camped by the water, and then we used the body of water to navigate where we wanted to go to.
There was a big flood, but I don't think it was deep enough where we were at to lift that boat.
We had a whole bunch of stuff on the boat in case it started to float. Why is Mary smiling? It's a big disaster for her brother's family.
Why was I smiling?
Probably just habit.
I think all of us were laughing when we were putting in the pigs because it was kind of funny.
Yeah, it was kind of funny. These are like a heritage. I don't even know what breed they are. They're very slow growing. They're very docile for the most part, really friendly.
There was a comment I wanted to read here. First of all, I want to thank all of you who left a comment. We appreciate all of you that leave comments, and we apologize. We can't get to all of you, but we do try to read your comments. This one is from M for Steam. Prayers for your brother Marcus' family and all in Libby that is affected. Thank you guys for praying. But then there's a comment underneath from Richard Wright. He writes, save your breath. Because prayers will not help them.
A lot of people started praying and the water went down.
Yes. So Richard, I think that prayers did help. And I've known personally in my own life how many times the Lord came through. Not every time. He doesn't answer every prayer. I've been severely disappointed. But in hindsight, I often realized God was protecting me from things.
Wild Adventures, starting 12/15, 5 more days of straight rain. Good luck to you all. You know, the weather is fairly unpredictable here. And if it's past 24, 36 hours in the forecast, it's up in the air.
Yeah, we've had drizzle.
There was a lot of rain predicted. In the last couple of days, it hasn't hardly rained. It's somewhat rainy now again, but Western Washington and Oregon have been having horrible time right now. I'm glad that your place is too. Too bad Libby can't send some of that rain south to Utah. We're very dry right now. Grandma used to grab the sow by the ear and she would go wherever she was led. No resistance. Grandma was 5'4" and the sow was about twice her weight, but the pig never dared mess with her.
That's what we should have done. Grab that pig by the ear.
Did you catch the part that the pig never dared mess with her?
Oh, she was a feisty lady, huh?
She probably did that from ever since it was a piglet, and the pig learned that when my ear is grabbed. That's pretty funny.
So this past week, I was in Michigan. My oldest niece got married, and me and my 4 sisters went to Michigan for that wedding. And in the near future, I'm hoping to post a video of our trip to Michigan. So my sister Priscilla was there, and I know a lot of you follow her on Montana Haven. My sister Josie, Emily, and Esther. We were all out there in Michigan. We had a beautiful Airbnb where we stayed at. It was just a lot of fun. So make sure to stay tuned for that upcoming video.
So Margaret left a comment, amazing footage. I couldn't figure out how you would move freezers, much less full freezers. It is amazing what the difference the right equipment and strong men can make. Praying for the recovery of the whole area. The freezers, keep in mind, this is the fall end of harvest season, and a lot of the garden's products, meat that was harvested, fruits, veggies.
Yeah.
The next year's supply of food is in those freezers. So it's like,
you don't want to lose that.
We debated about taking the freezers and just putting cribbing underneath them, raising them up. because we would have had the material to raise them up 18 inches. But at this point, we started thinking, and it's 1:30 in the morning. It's already come up 5 feet from where it was. How do
5 feet or 5 inches?
5 feet
5 feet
from the creek.
Oh yeah, from the creek.
Like from about approximately 5 feet from the normal creek, and now it's coming into the shop. I won't come up. Well, it's already come up that far. How do we know it's? And they had solid rain predicted the next 3 days.
Yeah.
Fortunately, the forecast was not correct. And at that point, it's like, we're not waist deep in water. We can still drive our vehicles in here. We can still drive the skid steer in here. We can still get to it. If we're going to get the stuff, now is the time.
Yeah. We didn't.
That's what we opted to
planned
do.
for worst case scenario, and it didn't get that bad. But also, I was glad we took them out because we would have wanted to keep them plugged in, and plugging in electricity with water around, I don't think is a great idea.
Yeah. One of my employee Kevin has a friend that they borrow the skid steer for a couple of days, and he's also close to Libby Creek, close enough that most of his firewood floated away.
Oh, that's just
so
sad.
Now he's got to round up more firewood.
Oh, that's sad. Yeah, his winter supply of firewood. Winter is still coming. I don't ever remember having a winter like this.
In the winter of 16 and 17, the middle of February, almost the beginning of March, it started snowing. We had 42 inches of snow on the flat.
We had a lot of snow. I remember that winter.
And the reason I know that is that's the height of the top rail of our fence. The snow was up to the top rail of the fence.
It just snowed.
I had to keep the doors shut, and so the pony couldn't get out of the barn because it could. It wasn't compacted right there, but where the snow came off the roof, it was higher than that. You could walk right over the fence.
Yeah, it was so high, and at the time, we lived in Idaho, about an hour's drive from here. And Marvin did mail. He was
a mail carrier.
And that morning, he had to go deliver mail. We didn't have any skid steer or anything like that. So what we did, we grabbed shovels. And how long was our driveway?
Driveway was a 1/4 mile long, but it had a few. And I think we had the shovel out 5 times. I'd make a run until I got stuck, and then we'd shovel.
We would just
and
shovel.
And then I'd
shovel,
back and forth, get it packed down, and then I'd make another run, like over the hill down. And every time there was a slight incline, I would bottom out.
Yeah.
And it took us quite a while, and then the snowplow had went, and so everything at the end of the road was just like double the density, really thick. Ended up getting down almost to the road. I told Mary we're gonna have to shovel a lot right here because I'm gonna have to make a run just as hard as I can to get out onto the road. So she went out onto the road, waited till there's no traffic, and I backed up and
you just gunned it.
Just got my front wheels out onto the pavement and got out of there. But it was a nightmare.
Yeah, I remember that morning. We just worked and worked because when you're a mail carrier, you have to go do mail no matter what.
And I was a little bit late getting out that morning anyway because we had gotten 27 inches of snow, and I was concerned about the house roof. So I said, I'm going to shovel the house roof off before I go to work. The mail truck will probably be late anyway.
Was it late?
Which it was.
Yeah.
But it showed up when I was still stuck in the driveway. So it was like 9:30 or 9:45 by the time I got in there, and it was quite a mess.
Yeah. Guys, this is midweek. We're glad you're here. And again, I want to thank all the brand new subscribers. Welcome to our channel. Welcome to our Montana homestead. We're glad you're here. We like hearing from you, so make sure to like, subscribe, and leave a comment. We love hearing from you.
So yeah, don't think we're anything special. We're just
we're not special.
We're just ordinary people. We live in the sticks. We like seclusion. We like privacy. We like living in the country. Both of us grew up Amish, driving a horse and buggy. So some of the things we do might not make sense to everyone, but that's kind of the way we grew up doing things.
Yeah. We love our little town of Libby, and it's a very unique town. It's gone through a lot, but it's it's also survived a lot, the asbestos. And a lot of people, when they hear of Libby, they think asbestos and all the stuff that went with that. But I've also seen where Libby did a great job with cleanup.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah. So thank you for being here.
See you next time.
Well, this is the end of this video. Thank you for being here. In my upcoming video, Marvin is making candy. He likes making candy every year around this time, so make sure to stay tuned for that.